my God, you guys, come in here, sit down, and shut the door. Diddy has just exposed, he has said that he is being forced to eat maggots in the MDC. And he went on to say that he thinks the feds are trying to break him. When you hear these details, you are going to bust out laughing. And sources are saying that Diddy plans to take this up to the Supreme Court because this is a travesty. Let me just say this. First of all, Diddy needs to stop listening to his team. Who was this report for? Why did he put this in here? Why did he let us know what's going on? We are sitting here loving every minute of him. The Mark Agnifilio and the terrible 10, those 10 lawyers that got him out, is he really believing that everybody is rooting for him and feeling sorry? Baby, you better save this mess for your love letters to Gina. And maybe Young Miami, because ain't nobody coming to see you here. You sing Otis. You can wrap it up. On top of that, Diddy is now saying that the reason he wants us to go to the Supreme Court is because of the violent, horrible conditions. And when I read them, and I'm going to read them to you, I said, this sounds like a random Tuesday at Bad Boy Records. What's the matter, Diddy? I thought violence was normal. I thought that's what we do. I thought that we like contraband. I thought distribution, when you give it to friends, according to the jury, that's not really a crime. I thought you liked it when people, didn't Mark Agnifilio call that a modern day love story? Baby, let's call this a heartwarming tale of friendship between him and those inmates at the MDC whooping on his patootie. Okay, so where do we start out? Because there is so much to get into. First of all, let's talk about the maggot story, okay? He claims he is being fed maggots in jail. He claims that the feds are trying to break him down to the white meat by making sure everything he eats got some. First of all, Diddy, shut up. That's some protein. First of all. Second of all, boy, you was just literally in a burqa naked from the way down. You literally had people rubbing love juice on your tatas. Diddy, you literally had those women doing the most vile things. And now you want us to say that you balk at a maggot? Listen, grind those maggots up and make it into liquid and throw that on Diddy's. I bet you he be licking it off it. Okay, let me just shut up before I get demonetized. Okay, now let's get into what Diddy is actually saying and why they are saying that he thinks that this might go up to the Supreme Court. Somebody tell him that I don't think this is a Supreme Court case just because you have to show that it is going to be an act of harm and you're going to be sentenced in October and put away in jail for what the feds say is a significant amount of time. And if I was Diddy, I would be very, very worried because Judge Arun is not playing with you. But let's get into Diddy's actual notes because, baby, listen, I'd love to see it. I don't know. I guess he feels like everybody is Gina and actually cares about what he goes through. Don't they care, Diddy? Why are you even talking about this? Okay? And get this. They said he's angling at the fact that the feds want to break him. You know what's so weird? And before we get into this, the fact that Diddy looks at being held accountable and being treated like everybody else is breaking him. Okay? Now, first they go into the MDC. They said, though the MDC initiated these efforts to clean itself up in 2024 after the Chavez decision, any increases in spending were reversed this year due to the federal government's aggressive budget cuts. Okay, first of all, you can blame your little pen pal Trump. Y'all thought you was buddy-buddy until you figured out he pulled off the scam of a nation. And he ain't checking for you, Diddy. They said, for example, since January 2025, there has been cuts to the BOP staffing and pay and decreases pending across agency, exasperating an already troubling situation. There are let me just say what's also scary. There are hundreds of people, maybe even thousands at the MDC. Diddy, if they let you out on bail because of that, that means everybody got to get let out on bail. And let me tell you something. Everybody ain't in there on violent stuff. Just you, Diddy. Just you. But let's continue because Diddy somehow thinks the rules don't apply to him. They also said that, contrary to the government's contention, living conditions at the MDC remain inhumane and conditions seem unlikely to improve due to aggressive government budget cuts. The MDC routinely serves food that is expired and infested with maggots. It's protein, Diddy. I thought you liked protein being rubbed on your chest. The maggot-infested food captured in a photo is unfortunately not an uncommon experience. Lockdowns also remain common, despite the government's claims. Well, listen, sometimes you said it was no big deal, people taking pills they don't want to take. I mean, what's the big deal of you eating a maggot that you don't want to eat? I mean, in some cultures, that's a sign of respect, is it not? Okay, I just made that up, but we'll just say it is. Anyway, right? They said lockdowns, it is in some cultures you can eat grubs, actually. Lockdowns also remain common, despite the government's claims. For example, the MDC sent a notice to detainees that they would be in lockdown from February 22nd to March 3rd. Because multiple inmates became disruptive and utilized weapons during an incident. This was just a few months ago. Again, what's the problem, Diddy? We saw you. You like to use your hands and feet. What's the problem? You don't gotta bang bang to intimidate the men. The government argues that the unchecked violence relied does not serve as a valid basis for finding of exceptional circumstances because this violence occurred over a year ago. But they go on to say, they said that on March 6, 2025, the Eastern District of New York announced criminal charges against 25 defendants in 12 separate cases related to violence and contraband smuggling at the MDC, all of which occurred recently between other inmates from May 2024 to the present. A former correctional officer was indicted for attempting to smuggle contraband into the facility in January 2025. An inmate was indicted for orchestrating contraband smuggling between April and June 2024. An inmate for smuggling ceramic scalpels into the facility October 12, 2024. An inmate for possession of contraband and continuing to commit fraud while detained at MDC. And an MS-13 gang associate for attempting to smuggle a large package of contraband, including 18 cell phones and marijuana to other gang members. Additionally, upon information believed just 2 Fridays ago, an inmate in the floor above Combs was stabbed. Okay, first of all, Diddy, you a snitch. You a snitch. Why? Because I firmly believe that he was getting one of those phones in the contraband. And I firmly believe, again, I have no basis for this belief, but it's just called vibes, that you also are getting re-upped on your Tucci supply. At least I hope you were, because I hope you didn't sign off on your lawyer submitting this while you were sober. Diddy, shut up. Shut up. And again, this sounds like a random Tuesday at Bad Boy Records. Does it not? Were you not hiding phones from the government during an active investigation? Were you not distributing rugs to everybody? Did the jury not say that wasn't a big deal? Right? The dummy 12? Did they not say that wasn't a big deal? I honestly want to know, right? I honestly want to know. This sounds like a Tuesday at Bad Boy Records. Finally, the government argues that Combs' bail motion is devoid of any claims that the defendant himself was impacted in any way by the conditions he alleged. However, this shows the government's ignorant with respect to the situation at MDC. Diddy was assaulted. His life was threatened at the MDC. They redacted all this, but in the judge's ruling, Judge Arun actually spoke to, okay, fine, his safety was threatened, but you in jail, big boy. You got all that mouth for women and for anybody else that stands in your way. What's wrong? What's wrong? When D-Rock ain't there, when Uncle Paulie ain't there, when Fahim ain't there, you ain't got shit to say. What's wrong? What's wrong? You can't intimidate, you can't threaten, you can't lay hands on people. Baby, listen, all I want to say to Diddy is, Diddy, shut your dumb ass up and go eat those maggots before you whittle away from nothing. We know thinness runs in the family. If you don't go eat your, I don't know, what you call them, some Elio's pizza. If you don't literally mix those maggots in the rice and leave us alone, again, you guys, Diddy is said to be furious at Judge Arun. The team is in his ear. Diddy says he wants to take this to the highest court. I don't think he has a case, but at this point, what else does Diddy have to do? He already was running money over to like lobbyists and political people to try to broker something with Trump. Trump left him at the wayside because this just saying Maxwell stuff. It's just getting too crazy. And this is all Diddy can do. Baby, listen, we love to see it. We love to see it. Let me know what you think in the comments, but the sound of Diddy suffering. He needs to stop listening to his tape. Nobody cares except Gina, your kids, maybe Young Miami. And I'm not even gonna put your defense team on there because they already got their big win. They already got everything they needed to make sure that their careers are gold. If Diddy is sentenced to jail for 20 years, it doesn't matter. They're still going to get all the opportunities from this. Diddy, again, nobody cares. Nobody cares. But baby, we love to see it. Anyway, let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.